Adesmama Pramuato Yamamuna ha. Omemu nsɛm ma wodo so de ayensa and yabuabu ano atudi se pram to beka se ba wie ye ne yetiefuo se hu nkonya wotie free peace 104.3 FM so okay 101.7 neat 100.9 nimi ansa wo se pa Sabaka dance na kra enwati hello 101.5 FM wedum kumase Ghana man tamia dunsia baby a wote yankan kasa fidie be seduasie nimi ne kire kwamno a be seduasa peacefmonline.com ghana-today.com so abode etiefo benya bi akan de de kase benmu akotene binie
Omai Ghana IMF nhyehyeye no ye tretrem na kiresen ema omai sikasam ye bekasa ho akwentuo aso ye no ene GPRT fo akwakohia fa adwene ewo ne yomanfo peshen de akwa adwuma wo mu enya ne ho de etuemu no etiefo ewo kasebo mu Dr. Baina Champo na chirchemu de akire hia se MPP for the frank animal no ehim na ode koprin kunimdie ema ekuo no 2028
I am the only one that can unite this party for victory in 2028.
Dr. Osaya Oduchuma Chene Miswadi Hunenti ewose Ghana fo titi ne MPP fo edi tumi ehye ne nsa na wachire se ehwehuna hodu a wonkrofo amamu a yebetimi dia ye de enso
esi ahene ne atu ahene fo wona me tumi a min nani machi enkyere mu min kasa mu nim basa
Dr. Sakwame Despite ni Dr. Forisa Pon akobua ama wadan Hilltop Executive Fitness Club edi ewo Asante Mantemu yebeko atoye.
Apart from the fact say we keep fit na we to anamon say we be say we share na mo tete mo mpom na mo nya hoden na mo di nyini chero mo moa amanfo so
yebeko efia efrise wo ma hye bedwani kasa de fa school 40 team fifibone wo school fees etua ho ensem bi ka we ne ho ebre ebemu a amanyofo no a omugina kansie mu wo New Patriotic Party mu no ye ne won ebedi enkita ho
Ewie ya dia seda ma MTN see we there for you everywhere you go. You see adem what the MTN is mo eneshum Ghana for nyina ne ehia ne sem obefa phone no dia ma me afi App Store no so na wa download my MTN app na wie ya you go seamless today. Saso en ye bedidi ye bekoye pa dia ma ye dia eye African Queen macro no de wan kasa na se ne nam neto no bo asiesi mo potinti ye di bia sire hehe ne ye bom obetimi afrem 024532 6180 0245326180 Midday ohine wa kase bo ohine menen
nana ya kunedu enafi
amansan ti ame kwabena mafo Africa se boni ntire munie International Monetary Fund eternity afrane se IMF yani omutu abasakwo mu na ensisaya womu ne Ghana ensisaya no odon fada urma ni nyina ba na wiye ya ebe eye May na tese ye wia ne sa ya complete na no na Ghana ban etu anamo bi ene IMF wedi nkita ho a wotre se May honom no a enkansese ni nyina ba na wiye no ya timu kakra mfanse May June July August ya anka ebeye Ghana fo ani tie pa sabia jampani se aboa no bepemu a wokoneti ansa no wapem yie enti menu anka ye wie no yantimu kakra emfa nko August ya na onyakwan de atoto ne niema yie na saa asem yi ho ene ye pese ye bisa mpanimfo se eba no se yi a na aban nyina so oben wo wonti a wode saa IMF nsisei abosume kakra aka ho dia no wopese wogye dia ne yebenya de free IMF wo enten Professor Goffin Boppin oye economist osaye finance lecturer University of Ghana Business School your friend no pay wi anumre wogye ya so pa apa rade asum de nka wo
Yo, Namiasum Jenka on Sumimawaha, any a tearful in.
You a tearful dassy. Aye, and a more by to say, I am a Francis Yanka, May, Abane ya, Yan San Fanco Augustino. A dear na by a hununtia, Wayanasa.
You better me dassy. Osha, the original IMF program now. Nanka, the reporting date, you know, where our performance will be assessed. Originally, no, only share December 2025. That was the cut-off date. And the December 2025, normally it takes some time, and some data no, are ready for the IMF team to assess for the final review under the fund-supported program. But even though Ghana there under the IMF program in terms of target, almost 30 amayeno, and a target no almost change. Target may be indicative target. Continuous performance target, and a monetary consultative clause about the monetary side, fiscal side, so your target near that, and I find another level of target, I refer to structural reforms or structural benchmarks. Into even though there along the almost all the targets, indicative targets, monetary consultative clause, and our continuous performance target in our but about structural benchmarks now, our performance over there no is lacking a bit. As I said, we have not been able to keep track or do well and meet all those targets on time about structural reforms now. And as a IMF supported program now, the indicative target ni monetary consultative ni adiade ni without the supportive structural reforms, it cannot last. Until the structural reforms tend to be more demanding. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, consultation, and so many other stakeholder, in some areas, stakeholder engagement. It is about structural benchmarks inside now. Our performance hasn't been that good. Not that we have failed, but our performance hasn't been that good. We have not been able to meet all those structural benchmarks per the timelines that are in the program. In the OSHA, fourth review, there were some delayed structural benchmarks reforms, and the IMF elevated those structural reforms to become pro-actions, meaning that for the fifth review in Ansar, if government hadn't complied with those pro-actions, there is no way the IMF will pass the fifth review. And there are some structural reforms, and so under the fifth review, we have had to migrate them to the sixth review, and some of them have also become pro-actions. Pro-actions means that you have to fulfill those ones before you can pass the next level. And some of the structural reforms, in our own estimation, we will need a bit more time to be able to undertake those structural reforms, for which reason the Minister of Finance and the Governor of Bank of Ghana had to send a letter to the IMF requesting for 3-month extension in order to tidy up the reforms. It's not strange. Countries are almost call IMF right after the COVID-19, including Zambia. Zambia also initiated a similar extension to enable them wrap up, especially on the reforms. So we knew, in fact, when government presented the 2026 budget, it was our understanding, sir, government was going to take advantage of the 2026 budget. When it was presented in 2025, government was going to take advantage and inform Ghanaians that they are taking these steps, or they have initiated these steps to extend the program. Of course, the letter was sent in December, and the program, the budget was presented in November. Government knew that this was going to happen, and we also knew this was going to happen. So it's not strange. The essence of it, and this extension will not give us additional funding from the IMF. This extension is to help us essentially to wrap up well on the program, especially in the area of reforms. And to ensure some of the structural benchmarks under the reforms, some of them now have been moved to March 2026 as the cutoff date for assessment. To that extent, that extension is needful, even though we have done well overall under the program. Essentially, when I say we have done well, government has used essentially 2025 budget to roll back the program and even exceeded some of the targets. So it's good news. Of course, it has been pricey because we have had to sacrifice. We have had to make so much sacrifice in order to bring the program on track. We have to cut expenditure, so many other things. Yeah.
And
oh, the beginning cancer was failing. In fact, it's in the same way. OSHA 2017, Aban also by because of what the 2016 election, the election excesses essentially reversed much of the progress that had been made in the 1.5 years of that program implementation. We civil society, including academics, strongly urged the NPP government in 2017 to rather extend the program so that they have a bit more time to be able to finish the program well. And the government accepted that, and that program was extended for 1 year. This particular instance has been extended for 3 months. It will not come with additional funding, but it will give us enough time to be able to wrap up well on the program. And if you read the IMF's fifth review, share your debt sustainability analysis now. The technical outcome of the DSA indicate that we are a moderate risk debt country. But the IMF didn't confirm that for us, and rather used their judgment and still affirmed a high risk debt category for us. Probably the fund is also thinking that, yes, we've made so much progress, but it doesn't look like it's sustainable. There are still headwinds, risk, and all of that. And you can also understand why, for the first time in Ghana, inflation about down to 5.4% December 2025, and yet Bank of Ghana's policy rate is as high as 18%. In any efficient system, economy, you cannot have that. You cannot have your inflation rate as low as 5.4%, and the central bank's policy rate is as high as 18%. What that means is that either the central bank is not convinced that the macroeconomic gains we have made is durable and is well situated, and therefore they are unwilling to pass on the gains to consumers of credit, because the spread or the real return between the policy rate at 18% and headline inflation at 5.4% is abnormal. and the central bank has to work hard to close that. You will not find that in any serious country. I understand that there are still risk vulnerabilities here and there, but that gap has to be closed. So we've made progress, but all the macro numbers are not aligned to tell a consolidated story. So what that tells me is, yes, we've made progress, we have a long way to go, and we also need to do additional structural governance, productivity reforms in order to anchor the stability that we are seeing. And remember, this is just a means to an end. We have not arrived. Macroeconomic stability is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. So we have to make sure that we are able to situate this macroeconomic stability, build resilience, and then work towards economic transformation, essentially from the perspective of structural transformation and productivity transformation that will lead to job-rich growth. So we still have a long way to go. We have a long way to go.
Oh, Prof. Yeah, that's papa ne obra unyama ye brebia ye befrao. Professor Godfred Boppin or ye economist here or science finance lecturer, University of Ghana Business School or no ena yenene kasai.
Nyame ya adoma January bosmene de toso di asaba ko wa fimo MPP amanyoko ne kosieneni na wakoto abaye panyi obenyi franka kesiem ewo MPP amanyoko ne mu enipa ba senum na atwo mutiba ko aka ho bia efomfo chess wonu an odim wonu an sefata eye kane wo soafo ya wo hwa adehia wo sam so Dr. Yawo osai educhum wonu wo kasa wo kire se MPP ni wo sua de pa na America Europe na afeso Asia minom en hihye mapa wogina so siesie omman wo behwe se nyame ya adoma salvation wo behwe so my Ghana yensa betimi aka ye chefa wo mom wo se nyame ya adom ye to aba kan edema ne pem ade ba kwa ne ni ko ho pa ya adehia ho nsem sa so enansa no dwuma ntetie se ne be ya ama Ghana betimi egina naso ne di nkonim pi na ewo adehia mom wo de sansem wo gina to dwa enano pebra na wo ne chairman general Kwame Sefa kan di nkomom ewo kokro ko dwumedi eso
Monsieur Ashie Nana Blanco Kufado, the Adjumasha Misa, Yana Kushia, Abuchi, the Nina Buam Kushia, and the Baba Boy, Emma, Yajma Ho, Namibia, Nostrum, and Chemical STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, Education. You say, I might be fast with the tomb pong if it's here, say, Ghana, then, Emma, and Kruma Kumaku, sending the only model junior high schools. Now, a junior high school, a computer lab in Fides additionally be waiting the call the Johanna say to me edico fear ben na me could do say a party say ye pecame before be our bobo see your party then which was sign a day new dia 2028 Dr. Bichum ehun say the new training say me generation
Dr. Manensi what ma to aso kirem se nyame ya adom ne to abaye no se Ghana man pani pa dia boso miensa na obesin konwa ni wahwe how potia o my Ghana for ye fem na fem watimi etuso sam ba ko a wo bo ho de wura nyina ne se emfihia nan pa de mama pani dia wo se anso emwom kuto
the party to Ghana for number one penny. I was really saying, American Parties assessment of the nation. Number say, a human being, Emma, at Sabra Moka Sapra, Ghana for company be. I'm using the governance structure. And they are starting to be a Ghana for him, say, when a graduates, why sociology, why other courses are winning Juma, job graduates retraining, scholarship, would you share the 6 months? Would you share a baby 1 year? Manpower needs assessment, actually say, a hope, a Juma. And Jens of Ghana for who say, at the and fear now, they might do fear me, near who said BB and cost. Now, my also another fear night. Midday the American say, and fear night, say, a man name who say, will you be moved? You better also. I'm already confused.
Dr. Si radio wo besre wani a ye twa ahenisi ahene wa MPP amanyoko mu sem wo muntu aba emfama no January bosme ne de toso aduasa ba ko ne wo kenyina ne sem enipa num ni nyina sefata ne so no wo gyina brane
Dr. Bichum say, delegate, my woman, my banner also, no tea the American, no him the ministry of the Himbobi and Deco. My fan ministry, the largest ministry, and not the servants, I mean, no one say, a woman say, oh, hold me, I brought a COVID, crowd, jail, game, film, and reading kind. And the woman say, you live a granny, me no beer. abotime makoye djuma wo esu ho bi no du de me ka che esi ahun ni etu ahun for say ye de amanyo sem se senipo ye mfem me sem ye me ma sem me na me we dabi ahun bra se ne de som kasa den ene de som kasa pa ene de som megbun esusumo ehun se esi ahun ni etu ahun for wo ma me tumi a me nani machi enkyere mu me kasa mu ni basa.
Dr. Yao Ose Bichimgono, Pemi Akan, that was some education minister with my Ghana, CCADM, MPP, Amanu Kono, watching it to say, Yan to Abama and Sanya Beya will bet to make him franca.
Now, which year, woman for be year war asante Mantemaka wa Bumuati Equo the Hilltop Executive Fitness Club. Now, I am many of the Kuno D, my Dr. Kwame despite senior Dr. Nestor Forisa Ponquasie. No more quiet, normally too, a kufu from one abandoning and penny for himself. A woman so betting to room promo for Junior and Nema de Bria, or one kind so say, Mobile was some, a you be a some, ain't ya no much woman so about the share of my ma.
Utiko say Emma Enkabumba Emma development craba area na Matikuno, which is this area. And the Ekuna Martin also moon say apart from the fact say no people fit na well to Adamon say Obe say Mushia Namotiti Mumpum Namunya Horden Namudini Channel Mumwa amount for also. Me kobe bi a you say East Legal Executive Club President na ekono Monkai Sadia no say mo ye bibia mo ye kodi you are the face of the club mo ya de nya e say the kodo na ye mo ya de so a e kodo na ye corporate social responsibility onfa mo a East Legal ye ebi I see police station ya ye no ma be enti mo ba ye mo akwaba.
Odi Pratine Kasa Dr. Nestor Forisa Ponane Diachi, Otitrani, any Kuba Baku, Otitrani, J.A. Kufo, any Ora Prince Kumi, Wamuso Ekanway, and a torso.
Sir, Yakan Wabomu, say a Kuba, quite fair, different executive club, no, I walk. Top no the idea is what he said yabakoswa abuabua uma any be ekaka enyankano uma schools ahodo nyina mu no bebo modna say wo mu hia no yeso betim bia no yeso beboa ama etimi da support wo mo ama watimi akọ mo anim ana afei program bi ase pa ensuo mba mu kwa no ho den ebo kwa ase ensuo ekwa mu kwa no obutimi esa eye niema adonti ye fari nyina anto aban so eyakan wa bom say alonso yababua na say kakra bi ebenya bi adimi da support wo mo no yeso because Abua. I don't have doctor or second that's right. I was saying program, but I mean, you are putting founder, I you go home, Papa, added to the director, Sabi, and body voice and we also now my head in home. So said my head, but say you did much. Mikaya, some of me upon you, Pani, Kaya, and some as you work out with the program. But we are on some non academic that's right. Any other talk for this support. That's all, Gabi. Na ye ko fe na mo ba ya me from TV one na mo ye na e be but sabi e body full at say on mo nya mo ya de o ma ye no ye so ye bia say ye o fe pa
Enshemwa odi ebi ekoya no na kukudan bebu ekoi said the motive Dr. Kwame despite Dr. Nestor Forisa Ponu sa na tapaman hini na do say atwenewan pemi otoso mienu na wase na no so amemrahye medwani orumunyamfo sa eche mensa bonsu na wo ho na komasi meyo orumunyamfo Richard Bodi ofori agemre na okan kukudan mo ekoye no ho yense twene Samson Kwame Ameche na ebo ansem ya no ebaye
yeah, call and some for froso. Dr. Brian Tampon, New Patriotic Party, MPP Amanuku. Yase akonya tofia this year nyina to me prebi. Into Dinamasi Antono Swaba. Na onto Frank Ama MPP Amanuku 2028. Wadwoma konkunimdiemu. Na pro board na kopiemu wo Yulo Krobo. Menya Krobo. Apa Menya Krobo. Eswejaman ya ni nyina wo epeemantem Eastern Region ono ane die mu a na yase abra Dr. Brand Champu dru honom no obi mpeni mehye enipa na ekukru ekrakra free tire ni bentiye wo mududu atesempo ano anwa hontumi nka wonum ene ebraya na ekọ braya na ekọ braya na ekọ wo mugina wa tu na hwa no wo ka tire wonum se womunim pefe se so womutu abayi Edma Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia anase Kennedy Akumpre kwa Japan wa party ne kan kwa beye den papa supporters no we beka so wante ne ho ase we nso beka so wante ne ho ase na nipa obetumi aka wonum nyina bom efuasa baakofo ema aye wono Dr. Brian Champon ene be hye ye same kase na womunye deden ye wono ye unifier wono obetumi aka party fo ni nyina bom ade wo makonkunimdie mu enti aba wo mukọ akoto no mamu wo mu nse benkum mamu wo mu nse nimfa wo mu nse bebi a Dr. Brian Champon wo no na wo mu nkotimma no
why na wo kuhile koboha why na wo manya koboha why na wo apamanya why na wo sojame wo jidie ewo mekumu se Canada ni elections na abonya anybody na supporters no ebe buama mana mo 2028 why na wo sajidi yensu ya petuni why na wo sajidi yensu na wo jidie ni se bawunia munia Canada supporters mba buama mana mo 2028 why na wo sajidi and the time you are at your position I am the only one that can unite this party for victory in 2028.
Dear yate say okase aye Dr. Brian Champon na enentoabo no wode kopie mu wo Ekuapem North South Okre Ebuakwa South New Tabin North and New Tabin South ni nyina we paymentemu a yenua Ebenezer aye na daruma ene si etiefo etiebi
Emrase bejoni ya wojina ho de ma de hye wo fi abaton pesua so lawyer yawo Isaac Buamanya akone kase wo chese be to ne so aba semrase bejoni na de ba ko hia ne pam ene se humesua betimi ejina na so ye nunti ne dia wode tudwe nyina ne se botai kese pa ne so be hwa aboa na adesua ho nsam etimi akone nim na ahwe na abaton pesua no so se ya wani e wo hyiapom de wo mo bre papa wo mo nsam fifire ansa school fees wo mo etwimi etue bi nyina ne se school fees ya ye ebi ohonoma over 3000 we ye bia obetua bebro 3000 wo so kra na eye BS ne so utua be 4000 eba ne sa wo ba tanse wo kono kotokuo mu a kakra bi no obenya wo wia wo se MP wo na me twen wo se betua emamen enam so mamra hye bedwani wode atudwa wo kire sa adehia de ya na mpepi ne wo ka ne se ye sanse adehia nti ntimi hu sa simesi wo ye hiani ba na se sikeni ba na so MP fo sika ye de mo pass wo mo fa nkofie no so wakase we gina de ba betua school fees ewo university dia wo se dia pa no wo kodie wo de sanse we gina to dwabra na wo ye nhyehyɛ mapa edia ma adesuafo ya wo mo wonto so suku wo na bato empesua no so ensem sen wo de to dwa
na ma bi gwa no di ne dan we nya mfaso ayi no de kutua nti oba ndema na we nyina wo hwehwɛ MP beka de MP ni so we bo bank account bi ato the kodobura obi ada ba di diska but I said MP so try me then oboa because na man for you it take bi anu na o se da bi pisika ye de beye na me ka chere mo go food there ye ka say nipa beye 300 ina wo universities aboboa we say se de bi tua 2000 and 3000 because obi ba ekor na se pebe boa na ni scanning or so e ma 1000 na osha but e ma 3 e ma 2 e ma 3 e ma 2 na nipa no so ba no because first na me nya MP na me manage based on needs but MP na say de ko na ni nyina wo problem worry ma 82 na 3 na say de ma
Bejoni ya wojina ho de ma de hye fi abato empesias lawyer Isaac Yawo Buamanya akona no se ya na adetuafo bi a wonsa kan se wo tua school fees ni bidi am mo kire se empini ya waye no waye ni gina wo mo de asedam wampim asiedu e na de e kwama no.
It's a good thing and to support it's a good thing and to support us in our education. I think going forward we will first off thank him for what he's done for us initially and we hope that in the future he will be able to help us more. I mean going to the tertiary will be a tool for us and on the side of our parents too. I think it's a good intervention and to pray for more.
So to during the burden of my campaign, I say thank you to everyone. At least it's to reduce the burden which has been kept on my parents. Maybe if I was to spend a bit higher, or let me say I'm spending 3,000, 4,000, so even food stuff, this can even pay for some of the things that I wasn't expecting. And we say very thank you to him, and we pray that God will richly bless him, give him the chances to always get what he wants, so that he can also support us.
Enti adisuafo bi ye wo efi abato mpesua so na woni peace kase body nkoman samoti se wode etudwa sansam we gina ye nsentwo ne apia dankwa Rock FM na tro be so ne
ene mianyina apia ho no ansan de akogi PRT for ho na anopai na apia dankwa ebo ya mane ese so okodwomro ewo atoye mantem ho no a kranchi bi ebeso odi ne ho awu obeso okun ne ho eti wakwa kofa de yede egugu enua ene emura so ehini wakofa bi numu awu ana obi oni ne bo fipam so be me ne jejejejeja mentwe manku ho eti nipa na eji ema na numu wu ena osi uchi osimedi otwe blantain wanuno ai wanuno akuno wai aka say asem ketwa sa kwa bia ule kwa to mantem ho kwa bia
Africa
kwa bia ma ha
yenia
kwa bia na zo de mesimo
abeto nka chepa
wo de mesimo so te men gaje ho
obonya de kakra do ma mentre
ule kwa bia yen kono ba kono so bra na akwa no boko
bedate aye hosam na SC ewo Takinta no ewo tomorrow mense ni mo ewo atoye mantem ha na nyina ene se abrante bia efre no amia wono no ete potem ho Takinta ha obia enim no owo ba ya one ne ba ete na enura anopa ya omanfo bobo ho eko asore de breso ba wia ne mu no no ankese na se mo ba eko obi ono nso ewo hokobo no amane se be papa afa ewuduro ye we decide the ship ye bi opese onom na waje ne kra efe ne nsem na ekoba asa na ono nso ehun se oye nyina na tikrum eno nso nti se obi owo krum ha edi ne ho ewu oye ne ho dom se ya bepese mekwa akoboa no okoni fi wo se okwa akofese dia bofra no beka kire no eye ampa woko ekoduru ho a na de onom ewu drive fe no amia ne se awaba samuka adehye omoka meso okrum ha wo pese metwa na nanom wonse do no ho ene wo be hu owura ne dem a ana okotwe seka brantan ye bi jeme ana odi esi papa eso etitwa no papa de nipa nuro na wo shejarabi antuwantume entumreka ama mono ho a otwa na nanom ewo ense do komafo no eni bre pa eye se owura ya fe no amien ya wo se o menom we decide wonom be pe no kwan bi aso otwe bre minya ana odi ne ho eka enwura de ko ekosiye efa asemi ho a owura yi nso agene nkwa efe no nsem no assembly member wono no ewo Takinta electoral area enen etutwe enkomo na wode nsam ahudo bi sei eto yenim owura David Asare
na ono ko duye no na nyame ana yese ono poison no ono enyanhu cosmos nda na no se ta wo ka omo a omo di machi no wo ka omo a omo tienti me no gina ho na meba na owura ne dem ko yi sekan nti ono ko yi sekan na cosmos nda no o try se no ese odwane na unfortunately for him na o shejara bi afla nti no ntimi ntumeka no nti babia o fire no nyame ano sana sekan na okoyi ye no odi machi odinachi de pa na otake se o twitwa no nti cosmos nda no wantimi anko nita no e ma ohwe pom na nyame ano e de sika no otwitwa no saa nti otwitwa na omo ben ho no omo ye ma na omo tie mu pe na ma mo nti beda school na omo eye party fi ho no in fact na ba akokra no o apoti nyame ano tanke one ne ye fight but wo se le sika ni no wantimi apoti no that time so no okuta we decide na onno me ya na ne ba no kofre cosmos nda no nti onno me we decide no na oja bottle no e de to form na ofa ne sika no e de to wu nti boys no eye se no e se omudi na ti because na aye yi de o ti obia obepra no na boys ni kensi na nti omu ti no in fact omu ntimi anya no na ebi oja no
yenia apia dankwa wonu a wonu maduro na wonu koje no watuta na kuno ene wonu adwane na nko nya no wonu muwe na obewu
Usu be mu. Na wanu me wudru no. Na obi etwitwa agyewo. Na wakum nipa kro na se wo bia ye wo. Enti ka gina ho no me omo mba beto no. Ye beto preku. Na udwane sei.
Na nipa kro na sumpo na nipa no so wa bre wo no madrewu. Ja no mo wono me.
Governor Transo.
Secretary Emma Presidential Election Committee New Patriotic Party Ora William Yamua ena wakase na bra woni peace news kasa no wotre se ensem bia ennam mframem se o ballot papers no kura wo ma print dada wo pese wo ka kire Ghana fo nyina ene MPP amanyo ko tita fo nyina se enye no kure wo muntu sa asem no ntungo na de yete ne se sa eginesie ya wo mwasi se urade ya adom a wochena an wo mbe print ballot papers no wo mu ye meeting na sa meeting no electoral commission ewo ho presidential election committee members no wo mu nyina ewo ho aspirant ya ejinase yantu mu so aba no wo mu mpanimfo nyina ba ho bi enti sa meeting e course wo no an wo mu nyina titu mu se sa da we en wo mu nse print no asenti odonfo ya adom a wochena ena print no eba so enti obi obeka se ya print ne da bia no bo sa asem ne tugu no kura ba akukura anim
na mo adom a ewe ochina adnada na the chef function last week the electoral commission for the aspirants and committee they have a joint stakeholders meeting and the meeting and develop timelines for other outstanding activities representing at the ballot and somehow can say allegations or printing. Yes, indeed, we want printing any other national officers. If you do any the printing ballot papers, and now they are a secret and not true. Time also as soon as the printing also, and also involved and forming all the presidential aspirants. It really say a lot and a printing best party.
Na enwati yewra William Yamua ekyerɛkyerɛ delegate wo mu ebeto abanumu.
I have written 4,448. Ashanti region, we have 36,784. Implement East, we have 7,963. Central region, we have number 18,977. Eastern region, we have number around 22,284. Greater Accra, 30,379. OT region, 5,532. Northeast 3,714. Savannah 4,224. Upper East 7,966.
Na afei ebano security nso ase no okyerem.
The next one say a little security very tight. Ghana Police Service approach say over the make sure some be providing adequate security. Abandon your corporate obi akoche na plan. Na at the end of the day, the senior elected a flag bearer. The truth party say enough, and the card is saying enough. Say over how man say that's over the 2 and now over the 3 and now over the 2.
Dear yate say okase ye secretary Emma Presidential Election Committee New Patriotic Party Ora William Yamua yenua George was say ye gyina so ahome kase bo no so tia we bia besisi ankomotwetwe bi ewo ho no mu a esese utie bi.
Peace FM. When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Akan paint. Don't be any painting the paint. The luxury acrylic paint. Paint me champion. When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Akan paint. Don't be any painting the paint. The luxury acrylic paint. Paint me champion. It no be any pipe, it be deep DPS pipe be the original. Call 0543 662727. They tell you again, it will be any pipe the pipe. It be DPS pipe be the original. Call 0543 662727. DPS pipe, connecting you to life.
So I come out with a show. I'm not about periphery. The Brunican had been one. At the end of the Sawaye, that's how young sweat to swear.
Robert Peckin, a farmer, Martin's liver salt, Taquay, and Tem, as she and share with glass more at a Martin's liver salt, no back one, no, dear goom.
Uber who say, who a glass in the moon. No one know. Martin's liver salt, you're an orange flavor, and a bacosia plain.
When we know Roberto, Nemum Edina, now want to work, who doctor.
Oh, we are the number one.
The 15th Gold Bond RTP Awards 2025 is here. The prestigious awards is slated for Saturday, 7th February 2026 at the Accra International Conference Center. Red carpet starts at 6 p.m. The event will also award the top 10 most performed public company CEOs of 2025 with lots of artists performing on the night. The 15th Gold Bond RTP Awards is powered by Big Events Ghana and sponsored by Gold Bond, Visa King, RTP Media Training Institute, RTP Skills Development Institute, RTP Mall, AgriFed Ghana, CocoFed, Knee Fashion, Coco Trade Ghana, Ride Along, Neurosurge Energy Drink, A to Z Auto Services, and Special Ice Mineral Water. For Peace News, to win the Best Radio News Program of the Year award, dial star 920 star 111 hash and enter nominee code 376 to vote.
Want to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alogris paint. Don't be any painting be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion. When you want to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alogris paint. Don't be any painting be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Peace FM.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Yada say, I feel yet talk as a bonus. And then I have seen any that also don't know. Just say, Ubu Quantanua, I cannot do me. Now, New Patriotic Party MPP Kone Kwako Toba. Abano mo Kwako Tonu, you frank to me. Onipo be him party ne franka na afi 2028 na just say efie mienu ni echi abato no aibeto no oya akono e di party no ni makosa na saa kansie no enipa num ene ginam enipa num no Dr. Sayer Odutwum owu akwabena Japan engineer Dr. Brian Champon Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ene onumunyamfo Kennedy akompeko Japan sa enipa num ya e wa kansie no mu no na wotwe mu ye hwe kwan se ye ni ebia na msifo ebedi nkomo na hwe die ntia akakuma bi na wo mo campaign no mo abone po no mo ba betena se atwe delegates e beto aba no de ntia wo se delegates no eto ema no na ye fa efri se de wo mo ko ballot ye no party for ana ballot ne kire se asomasi enna ha asomasi na ha enti 1 2 3 na babesi the war FM no year 5 1 to 5 now one no connected team connected producers man can hear was some team connected 81 no team connected no ejina ho mo nya for Kennedy akompre ko Japan na no ye mrahye bedwani na nei na war pray mampani edibre akwa sa kansie ni bi pai wono na Dr. Baumia de face so ema showdown so we fia ho asem baye ba no mo ye boa ho akọ afi etwam 2024 abato no na enkonya afoforo bi ebesi showdown na chia na oni pai ne ba bedi nkomo enne eye Greater Accra coordinator Edema team connected. Now you know feature they can say connected, but the producer say a team connected. Or work with Sipoku Bosompim. Banana, a share.
Yeah, I mean, never wanted to say.
A radio don't know so. You
don't know, maybe you may say you won't fit it.
Young Kunko have one call. Your quaba. A team connected. What is saying?
You. Because Kennedy on Japan.
Okay.
And then we know very soon there's going to be a Zoom meeting for Boko Stretch now. Going to be in Remo.
Okay.
Now go Remo and then answer.
Okay.
And a law abiding the security for sea, the intelligence they are picking on the ground is not good. So the people must also so there's going to be a very big Zoom meeting for that stretch, for Papa Kennedy. Now I'm also namna Odibia, Bibi draw to the Boko stretch from.
Na ODJ, member me say Misaka Sasso. Moton DA connected, Moton DA.
See what we say, I'm on your four. Ghana, how in I am on your four. I'm on your four. Nipa, Ghana for you with this someone kind of cry, I'm on your four.
I'm
on your four. And people come, and this come. And Tinny maybe I say, maybe I may Ghana from Petty. Okay. Dear my yenny. Okay. Maybe be a count. And people about power, and this about power. Timmy Rana may win the appeal. Now, on the I am on Fubusa. And the other Kennedy on the 2 million. No, actually, see in the pipeline at the end, no Ghana for AJT. Papa Kennedy, and I grow with the perception. Oh, Papa, no, or your crumb for make you be any evidence. You do your crumb for no than the crumb for the Ghana form petty. Okay, me ba memma with Juma, a Juma Bay. Papa, nature, Juma Bema. She can't be born bra, you be near free. Or can you now, or say, only the oak. If it is agriculture, you don't just say agriculture. About statistics for the agriculture by Ghana is any agriculture bay, music could be yedi way. I am funny a bay, a takra the bay, takra the man, be near. You got testing and could be me film evidence based. I'm going on Papa Kennedy.
Entianutini Gary, Yamanema de Putano de Namu.
Sir, I will say, Banjia, Guilimape, and your central region. Oka Banchasa. Oka Banchinas will be so Yadikato. Ya dreaming answer Banchimoli and Papa would come Bengulia and Papa. But I see 29 Yamana Banchitimi. And you 2 million watch a start, not actually. A way, not actually. You're a friend, a robot, you are not a drone actually, a choro start content. That is what it's doing. Campaign or running, or running said ye, or running national campaign. Or no, Phyllis said delegate here, Kumebi. But on GD say Ghana soon obedi. And to GD obedi Ghana so. See the righteous man shall live by faith. GD and one o to.
So the okay righteous yana. Yes, also for El Bernard. Any also for an commission. It's a connected. Oh, my kunkum.
And commission and too near no. And yejuma. Commission and too near. We believe in prophecy. But prophecy without effort doesn't bring any results. In the year 1997, after Papa Nikazava Kennedy, campaign one was ABC Kennedy. You go your come moi as one year, we be doing our year to him. Come moi as soon be doing a him. Which I say, Intina prophecy pack, send a competent baby. I know. On to me, Robert Quinn and Yabria, we assume this is a Gamobo form in your money. Only those who be video, no one microphone who you may be doing so. And to be taught, but based upon a certain social contact you have with a certain candidate.
Maybe we do them Susa how power so my name how. Say yet your main ye Omaya ye crabba ye importation pa. It's ye want any amabawan media madrimono. Minim said do no say when ye juma ya. Enkopenye so obedan enkrofo enuti na mekwa ebesi eho no na sa wo kaka wani na hwe sede mosi abo apro wo ye Greater Accra coordinator ti me sha se fi abobo no Greater Accra ha say ekose na mamo
almost Greater Accra previously last election Kennedy lose by just 1,700 votes just 1,700 votes Greater Accra chairman for the candidate ni emi enupe me and I faba ko bi anyo bi o kan ko south na woni hwan kra wo ko ka say o support Kennedy wo no hwan any at all soon will be any ministers of state, CEOs, deputy CEOs, everybody in Greater Accra. Until starting, so not Greater Accra 35,000 voters. No papa, Baumia, no go over 20,000 as an start. That point is. Suddenly at 2 about so we appointed one to IB. You ever say creative police center? This is where appointees are voting. This is where chairman say and I created into one to IB. And now. Say to me, dear, showing people where power lies, security situation here, both beyond training. So now people never to talk na and people are going to use their own who just and abani ekoto everybody dey many here come dey ekoto yan so abo. Look at the people following the other candidate. Former CEO, former one CEO, obi the CEO 8 years. Obi the minister 8 years as a number of somebody minister bi. Obi say mon tuma me because you see a baby minister. Me mean dey because you be minister. Me dey because Ghana for be di. Me wan mama me no won yejuma. Me wan fasi for won yejuma. Ti me mean tia say say dey bet mama Ghana for yejuma. And you see dey Greater Accra mama. My candidate we are doing between 60 and 70%. Greater Accra. Greater Accra once upon a time we are strategy na. You are making the room and opi ko here. Ni Mama Christine room. Wait till Mama Christine so kasada. Bring her to the studio. Ahodo say you from money. Ha, oni mi masa. Mama ni kasa we are no at say. First lady about first lady about Ghana be your first lady. What I say? What was on? Say na Ghana for you today. Na Canada here, no Gaza here, no Gaza onye. Na papa no say Ghana for most presidential candidate need a bonus sum kan say that na presidential material. Bona muka. Papa you mburu more than presidential material. Anti-Christian san no eduma ni bi no.
Ti wa shape no.
I mean not brochi na politics no. What I say? Afi papa ni brace up ko you know. And my wish was me je be say mu bi ku. Mrantie na na mo ya oboko tu. Bi an edifit o keje ti anu. Atale papa na mo shekeke simple. Into ono so be chere se ni kunu se presidential material. Tell me, can you create them? You Papa Kennedy. Soon I try some I can't find no chroma. As if you be a message maso. I think this is how you money bia.
Delegates mo kwa omo je say. You
see, the delegates edge in put head account. Obi aba be waje so. What I say?
Fear delegates no.
We are not afraid of them. They can say obi aba be waje so. Uku we are the account we chiri and no common.
Iti wodo asototo fam no e dey no mo ka wa kira wo
se mo de yi
sa
matin komo bia ya no ko ka se mo ka onkremu ni le no ni bene ma me na kwa na manya me se neke mo ka o mo se die na asie e dey be pa na kan di aka ntia na nkoko ndi ke for the first time chairman for 14 15 you me ni edi kan di chi for the first time former CEOs na to she was the lead campaign person for Baumia no ya me MP me ni nya ntokwa. And then the police system to tutu ina. I didn't see for friend. I was me who I know.
Who I know you know na no bi no. I know enya epu no bi na mo bi.
Who go di candidate Greater Accra. MP bia parliamentary candidate bia BT no. You see that vis-a-vis Akufo elections. Akufo na to candidate in Echo. Head no. Where the trail and the
and so former MPs ni say who signal it is possible.
Loser endorses a senior loser. They already endorse the already pa in TV do. Now no say dom sa. Abrante because I can say Michael Kwe dom ko abiya. What I say? It was a traditional seat. A seat MPP are 2 years you be you saying and then come here. And I branch you no about you ani kono. Ni papa be frɛ Kennedy say Kennedy ne yeba. Sorry, ni mama. Enko kuno no wini. Na won dey na enko Kennedy and dey Kennedy. And these are the people endorsing. O da say, o ti do mi kwa benya. O ni abayo ani kwa aba no. O papa, every Kennedy people just me saw kunma edio.
Uti o mo do Kennedy na te say dey wo kase yi. O si o Kennedy e dey ho bebo afore dey ma party no yeso mu ade yeso kasa gidigidi eni ni nuanu na na party no e na na wo ko e dey emo mo ne nei ye dey sa de kodie no a e hwe ne say onim kasa we heja hutu enipa wo so bibi e dey free emu ana
binya ba emre bia ne ohenia yi no eni enyi hu e kwa me kuma so nipa emre bi obeto Africa ba ko pe ekwa bi ma bi a woman at Thomas Sankara be to mo Burkina Faso. O Burkina Faso small boy na mabana. So heja o yesi Kennedy Japan. Into one e okuyen, mamu ba ko pa na e ono an to kwa kacha. Na the baby wants them to buy, and he wants them to buy, and I know could defend it. Nyantechi, or say the first time who Kennedy Japan, I was Tamoni and ask court, no Nimpa Paneda. But Kennedy thought that, and then Nyantechi, wah, a CAF president and a FIFA president. Ghana born a just a kim, because of Nyantechi that 17 so when you be on Kibiaman, and on Nanche, number 2, if you're asking, nay, and I could for the bush and if you're asking, did not tempt Kennedy who said the Akan, but say MPP party no, and not see me and got shy, and I Ghana for, and name was a 10 cents. Or see, book Bible with 10 penny, or man, 11. What is it? I say, and I don't want money away, and then this baby go about the news. Yeah, it's a month for you say no. Me no be a airport ya chini ka be sine yen charge no. There no ya entimin kan. Kennedy Japan this thing could have happened to the MPP. How this say there go MPP you see the two about need the on pekasa. The two about need the MPP o make MPP.
Then so can say Dr. Baumia Obeyo mampeni abedi echiri yenim say abrabomon ya atwede ye froko enti adan na connected fo mompo se ma papa no wonko enwie na ofoforo yiniti
yo ofudu apa na ga epian mate se nko bibia yedu no we need to change the narratives see can sa we feel ko say ene ababia ba ya 8 years the NDC enja won go 8 years that is the narrative. But now we need a radical leader who can change the narrative. Tetero obi ko ba ko obi ko mienu sa na kan kufo ko mienu no nya na do be ko miensa but me be ko 4 transition committee for some year 5 years 5 by 4 20 me maybe 57 me do so mo anu edidi ye 75 enkwaya me dia o dia senti ye can say emre bia ni hwe ye campaign when people do social media engagement na the MPP for you see there be in the grounds near CCV ni you go so the whole thing ye na ye biti 1 million vote at year so 500,000 we didn't learn any lesson ye go so yes sit here and they do we didn't believe in the social media name na NDC for ni they were branding themselves very well jo mama ni nyum kan ede which I say in Kenya say ma ba me message odi ba digitalization MP adi ba as a just ngete dey na ede pa Ghana for to ngete because a human need to get more the year. A human need to get nature. A human need to get a power everywhere. And you who can so the year can say in the bed in the coy. Yet we go from say, which I say, go for the no. So we are crying an improvement upon the original.
We are all sorry and so you see said the primacy maybe and some of you PP and as a Muhammad to draw a good trum and a modern ma a NDC and then a dimacum shoot in some of okay and move 20 almost in the car and move 17 Canada 2013. I go for the Goviniaba 2016. Marking kind mean what does that? 13 Emma go for the Goviniaba. Side go about 2020 utie enti ni ma ko pa no kasa timi emuso abade mfa no no me tumi aso ye kidi e na apa fra no u say am no kasa ade ti kroma na dollar no about am na unti kroma bi ana na say Kennedy ne kasa wansa say na ko China ni bi na unti bi ko China na fa ko na enko ye so we hu Kennedy kan aso wadwen ba so sara mo kana ye ti kroma ya ye chief ye former chief justice e ko ye say for bro fu pikiti so wan kete no ana no unti kroma no me new insurance company MPP ni kese o ni da go say wa ko jilo ye turn it any NDC buy first 6 months no o we an overpayment po na 6 months on your mama go first country we were going after our own businessmen going after our own people me constituency chairman me ba medical school me ba ya get now qualify cut up point 11 fee pay you Canada than to people took people money to be able to give them jobs give placement school placement NDC senior college teacher school placement Syria college. Yeah, they are not bu to say bibi. Never in a good own. Not going to be new education. I mean, tells you. MP people here to obey. Obeying your illusion on Kambi. You never Kennedy contract committee. After looking at some videos and some of the things they said, me na the kai. Hey, Miss Mika be the illusion. Look ready any. What can I mean? Free too. You say abanmo toa. Yes, security tight. If we said connected and far more. Mobesako ojamom how far what we are saying is that we need a level play yes mo bi amwa yes so mama bi ayi am me wi so asama ye keni ye nto aba konko ye ere de bi to aba mo bi hwa photo so me de bi to aba ma keni no ye zero ye go to aba keni no chance no try no so kan so wa to mra wo ana fine ye ba so to mra se ne no sem grofo we ye uni yi di agora what you say obi nya obi wa da so uni ni feni so to obo na yi da bi so eno nko dan che no de ma so to mra ye the agent be ndekwa agent for no so no ye puri no so ye party for on so man to e bi am ye mu nto on so man to am and I do what about say so e boni mu but on so need so still anto you don't do things like that ye ya de ye on then be ye me honda I am telling you that the surest bet that MPP has is Kennedy or in Japan. And me ye wo mi or here Ghana for here is an entrepreneur. You see,
Bro, they say all things here and economy, GDP growth, one growth. Your growth is saying, you know, Kwame Nkrumah call here 60 years, motor here say it is about one of the best roads we have today. 60 years, then I say to two, yeah, no motor, and what Portos I was to say, between the motor to Kumasi Road. But this road was constructed 60 years ago. Kennedy, he's dreaming big. Also, Kwame Nkrumah name why a man 4 years, he's going to challenge the man. This is a kind of leader, a visionary leader who is still fair. Me didn't come over. That's Papa. Me didn't come to chief of staff. Didn't come. You think a man of me idea because me you say don't fail me, I'm going me. Me going for I'm going me. Crow me as young man penny for ma to trust me about book room. But go there Nico school, security training school that was here. Kennedy by the police did because he no. No friend Papa, I didn't Papa body planning train. That's why did the traffic officer take him to court. Crow me money. Only the me more buy a one way. I want to go BB. No, enter the thing. Or we go deep and you have time on his studio. The person of one of the leading presenters. So, Pamono. Or that leadership by example.
Tina Crackramo, 31st, then Akan.
Yes, MPP delegates. They say, I think that they say, okay, be a waka. They say, Arabana Yabono, where you are probably at Tuaba. That are the young one and a police station phone talk about Kennedy. And then, Mother Nadofu. Hello, I'm calling for one office. One kakaway. Now, now, go trouble obi amfroda na no na who years go trouble obi nko say bi ma Kennedy nsema ye amafo kan me ba me ye Kennedy start kan nye Kennedy start move police station for Kennedy see obey conscious effort to build businessmen. Kennedy is going to make a conscious effort to build party for so ye Ghana for John mama area in this view me Ghana for don't you people for ye today can say you have a Kennedy Japan in this audio. And in near my Radidia Massa Branty, Papa, Mama, only just simple central would be done. We say, no, I can't show near my way or Sasa, so obey. Only the baby, I don't know what he's going to say. The
crack say, I knew ye are Martin connected, eh?
I knew ye are Martin connected. That's I knew you, the prepare. Kennedy has that track record of back nobody to Yechi, Bob Yechi, or now what the machines a chow campaign do one or the buy. Machines a chair do one or the buy. Or the secret crop so edify. Kennedy, and you do and die, so I am your son. Need a call to duty. I'm on for a page, not a page more. What's the difference? I'm on for a page. Who only Kennedy? I'm on the $6 million sick cardio. Catch them. Who can Ubenya? You was $6 million. My church check in go sick cardio hospital. Everyone can happen.
Maybe the anchor.
Good. Almost what I say? I will be the Ohio and confirms.
Let me see the Crocoroka, a cardio, and any man me. You say a Omunya for Kinapon. Or free a shank for one for nano, and yen wa moso. And Crofon and Agent feature would be Nehua dance to say cardio they are okay. Yen ye war or bands and Tremibia or call, no mammy, or no call as a pity. Ewokumase. Na oko tuaka na yaka say we fully paid na o yen training but na onim eti yaka say fully paid and na yeka say we omunya for Kennedy ohina Japan abefa ho ka for these years no and also me yen training po na minim enso na say ya sha say ehu nkrofo a na bi omo wheelchair mu obo omo papa ba ko se ne ba from so
you see, if you don't say who say you are, I want to say you know, heavy, yeah, sorry now. One guy was sorry, I'm not for about 10 years. You didn't call simply because every constituency, Obi a sorry ba, because papa we or YMC. A mayor conform free Lebanon by Central Region. You do a matter, boom, I mean, sue yourself, no dear, or say, see Ghana. Papa does have $500 on from Kudiva. What I say? These things, they are there, but until say, I want to say, no, see, already depending, you know, dear, no, I sense and find ya, and it's right. I saw to me the chain near my way, and it's your problem, and I say, yo, yeah, Papa, I want to get it clear. Because, here you go, baby, my baby, sue you. I'm sending the video. Me, so me fear Dr. Piho. Me fear Ada Yakon, MP Parliament. Now, because the music I do, yes, I'm going to say you. Can you Japan, can any be America, and I can't be the I say you. Also, here, 9 A's, also kayak, always in comedy school. And I need to pay rules for my film. 7 years ago, when you on guy, and you got this goofy on my film, only Canadian show, baby, and then the body of medical doctor. Kennedy ebe kwaba obenye simpius ka say papa we minu die me wun die mate na me di no dance ya musi papa na
odumu se ne nyuma ne di na chi
asem ni go everywhere in Ghana Santa Ami Jones ana obontim poso be di president na simpie bi obesi so nyemienu nyemiesa enye nan udu asia sase so a eniba 100 na go America 90 ono dom ko this is the man Kennedy Japan we are talking about. Ghana needs a leader Oma need the obi no ma e de nyame aka na koma I say come desperate no esika ni o Ghana nyina o no chengu ko no you say me no difu bi pa o mi area sika kura no he ni bala kura woni den bala for before no di place anu ma ba be di binti ompini
ko bo so pema
but ye papa Kennedy Japan Oma a chem a man. This is the kind of leader. Ghana doesn't need a greedy leader. We need a leader who is God-fearing. God-fearing, evidence-based.
Tell me, I'm going to sorry.
I said, the next, Papa Kennedy, in Japan, a GD4, I know the Ghana has a certain leader, or then sacrifice for evidence-based, practical things. Your brain GDP growth, economic growth, one growth. Say. Yamba ne se jo mama e mo se dollar ni njira Virginia na no komo ye bo na economy ana na ngo ngo think DBT economy yes sir and na economy se jo mama timi so dollar no se I love you so much for years ngomo be ni e be di bi ka ngomo aba se say adwuma ru ana aba
be me na me dase
so me dase
and for ori akwasi pokubo sompem when Greater Accra coordinator Emma team connected ya kan connected na chese onunyam for Kennedy akompre kwa Japan na sem ene ye kan no ene ne no edi saa enkomo yi kasebo no si akenkan fo a bote yenkan eyemme mama ya kunedu mene
ohene wo kase bo ohene enafe kwabnamafo
we ene pon
Yadi aseda ma MTN CCC ya no wode isem enesu manfo eni je sem kese wo me se wotu fi office out me ye nyade ane ye eden kwan bia so me pacho ne hia ne se wo phone na ukura no ya no wabo ahye wo ko app store hono ma my MTN wo bebo ahye mse my MTN app na abo ya na yellow na my MTN app na say ade over bi ade etwa hosa na team into download wi na do nsa boso no bebie kama na prompt wetimi edi echi registration enye denya fe na akofre onyonkoma wawa ba chi no hogu so intime ya betimi akosemless ade amaye ewie wedidi ana wonya ni di ye aduane be na wokodi jollof na pese ya na se abom ana se bia enkwan mimi se die ewie afufu de manage ho pa tesa no echi honom na mekwa ade ba manage ho your goat light no goat light me nya ntie se na nsen ye sha ase ebode wo se African queen mackerel ne yenti hu se de bia da meko na ebi didem enam na si mo potia se gaga na ntu se de esi so wa by training tinu dodo na se we bia na beto okoto ba ko na we nche ho na so we ni tua se ya nanam na asa afomfom African queen mackerel de enije ho pa edu kwesi adase ya fufuo na abewo amepacho wo hie bi na de bia me ka cho se nkwan no wo ya to obo ase bebi se ya na wetu ano utu ano so kra nya di ya ne fofofo adi amam enti ne ka cho se twawonum keke na mpapa no enu ani oba pastors wo makona woni fire service station edi nhwedum woni ebie supermarket o ma serious se wo mu pesika no so mpacho bi honom for 0245 326180 0245 326180 and that's 0302 6683 57 ofra on sabekebe eye African queen mackerel no enamwa ede eni yadamu nyina se wiem amamu anitie.
Tune it in.